Hi everyone, welcome back to Hobby Rocks and my little knitting tutorials. So this one, I'm going to show you how to rib. Okay, so this is a simple one stitch rib. You can do others, but I'm going to show you the rib. So if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And you never know, hopefully you might get informed when new videos pop up. So to do the rib then, we are going to do exactly the same thing that we did on our previous moss stitch. So we're going to knit one, and then on the next stitch we're going to purl one. Okay, we're going to knit one, and then we're going to purl one. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. I'm going to pause it after this purl because we've done knit and purl in the moss stitch, and it's exactly the same, that first row. So I'm going to pause it and I'll come back to you when I've got to the end. Okay, so next row we're going to do the opposite of what we did before. So we're going to do the same stitch that we're confronted with. So because we purled our last stitch, this is now a knit stitch. You can see there's no bump. The bump is on the next stitch there. That's the purl. So we're going to knit and then we're going to purl. So whereas with the moss stitch we did the opposite of the stitch that was in front of us, we're now doing the same. So we're purling our purl stitches and we're knitting our knit stitches. And that's the difference. Now, normally you don't have a rib in the middle of something. You would have it at the beginning. But, you know, we had to get to the stage where we had tutorials already. So, you know, it doesn't matter. But it will show you how it pulls it in, I guess. Okay, so we're knitting our knit stitches and we're purling in the purls all the way to the end with our familiar clonking on my equipment. I'll try not to, but it's really impossible. Okay. Nearly at the end. And again, we end on the purl. And as we turn that work, that purl presents as a knit stitch. And you can already see it's starting to look different. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to knit our first stitch, and then purl, because we're going to do exactly the same as the stitch that we're working. This was a knit stitch. You can see the bump of the purl in the next one. So we're purling into that purl stitch, and we're going to knit into this knit stitch. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way to the end. I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back to you when I get to the end. Okay, so I'm now at the end and you can see it's starting to rib. And you can see that you've got a line of knits and the purls are tucking behind. So because we've got an even number of stitches, we've got 20 stitches, which is how we very first started, we will always start on a knit and always end on a purl. So the next row we'll start on a knit and end on a purl. So it is a very, very simple thing. Just knit one, purl one, but we're purling into the purls and we're knitting into the knits. So I'm going to pause it again and I'm going to do a few rows and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. Hi everyone, I'm back again. So there we are. I've done a few rows, and as you can see, it is really pulling in. Obviously it's only pulling out because this is my row of stitching, but it would continue to be pulled in. So if I open it up, you can see there are the purl stitches in between, but it does bunch up nicely so that all you see are the knit stitches. But that's how ribs made. So it's just simple. I mean, it's exactly the same as the moss stitch, but instead of knitting in a purl and purling in a knit, you knit in the knit stitch and you purl in the purl stitch, and it's just very simple. And well, I hope you've enjoyed that. That's the end of the tutorial, and I'm not sure what we'll do next. Now we've made a few stitches and we've learnt a few bits, maybe we'll do a scarf or something together. I'll think of something to do as a proper little tutorial, and we'll or a knit along, nothing major, and we'll do it together. So thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, don't forget, hit that subscribe button for me and the notification bell.